Well, I need to roll quite an almighty roll here, probably a 16 or higher, which I don't get, so that's it for the death beam. Or the death ray, rather. So here it comes. I'm going to shoot this at those two guys. So that is 10 shots. This is the Ghost Arc against the Long Fangs. Looking for 3s. Yeah, this would have helped immensely if I had shot the Stalker at them instead of the other thing. So that is 3 wounding hits.
They save.
And that is all saved. See, there you go. And then now 16 shots from the Necron Warriors. Same target. Looking for that sound you hear is me dropping dice on the ground. I have a strict policy to not pick up dice off the ground till the game is over. See, those re-rolls would have been very helpful at this point. So I'm looking for 4s to wound. See, and if I don't kill those guys, he's going to do that trick on me too. And he's got 1 save and 1 guy dead. So that is going to be a toughie. It's a morale check, and I believe that's my turn. So let's go ahead and roll for into the game.
Cool. 4 or better, we keep going.
4 or better.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, good game, Sean.
And is that, did I do it? I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, 2 objectives. Nice. All right, thank you for the game, Thomas. I really appreciate it. It took us like a week to play it. I think, in fact, a total of a week.
It was kind of an interesting way to play it because it was like, well, I can come and I can kind of study it and think about things each time. And I got to say, I wouldn't bring the same armor composition. A large problem that I think
Against my army specifically, or generally you're going to change up your army?
Here's the problem with the army composition that I had, is that I didn't have enough stuff that can go out and reach you and get to you, which...
It was pretty defensive.
Well, and here's the thing too, I had field position. So what I should have done, like these guys, I rushed out here to worry that unit of guys to rush out here to get your
canoptic
rates, and I should have just been like, oh, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. That means I wouldn't get the firepower from this stuff and from the Immortals.
Right.
And so I just would have had to deal with a little bit of stuff. And I should have just, because like I said, my mistake was I had field position, and I should have kept it. And I kept worrying about it. I was like, oh, I'm worried that I'm not taking enough guys down. I had one turn where I killed 4 models, you know, with my entire firepower, which was, even at the end of the game, I had more firepower than you did. Unless you were within 12 inches, I was within 12 inches of you. And I just got impatient. And I got impatient with Vulcan and his squad. They should have stayed down here where they couldn't have been shot. Because all I had to do was just shoot up here near the end. You know, you're going to come to me to fire at me. And then I could have been like, oh, I'm going to weather 1 turn of fire and then everything will converge. And that was, I feel like, my big mistake. This is the one thing that happened with 6th edition that I kind of got really turned off to was Space Marine transports. I play Space Marines. I know people are like, oh yeah, the Space Marines are so, so boring. Sorry guys, it's half the game. Half the people that play this game play more than half the people that play this game play Space Marines. Half the codexes are Space Marines. It's extremely popular. I'm sorry. So I know that it's frustrating sometimes when we kind of always play some sort of, oh, Space Marines versus this, or Space Marines versus Space Marines, or something like that. Well, it's the most popular part of the game. So, that's just an unfortunate truth. So, what 6th edition, the point is, what 6th edition did to Space Marines was, the Rhino used to be this vehicle of, oh, well, I'll move up, then I can get out the next turn and charge, right? And now, I can go faster with the Rhino, but I had to change my focus. So they changed the focus of the game to more a firing focus, more shooting rather than close combat.
Can you hold on a second?
So, as I was saying, so now you've got this thing where you can go your first turn, you'd be like, okay, I'll go 12 inches, and any Space Marine any vehicle now gets to move that extra 6 inches with turbo boost. So that's really cool because it means, all right.
So transports are for transporting people.
Transports are for well, here's the thing though. It's not. They're still they were always transporting people, but now it's a transporting people and not a. I'm going to transport them in such a way that I can get to close combat on my 2nd or 3rd turn. Right. It's going to be. I'm going to transport them up to get a really good shot with my rapid fire weapons or something like that. And so it's made races that have open-topped vehicles really powerful. Orcs, Necrons, Dark
Dark
Eldar,
Eldar.
that have open-top vehicles that have a lot of rapid-fire weapons that can sit in them. Orcs to a lesser extent, because all their shooting is kind of assault shooting and kind of crappy anyway. But Necrons, especially if you
Well, you can assault into close combat out of open-topped vehicles still.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
I mean, yeah, they made it so that some of the Xenos races have a real advantage. And that's good. You know, I mean, more people will play them. You know, you'll see less of those dirty Space Marines. But it definitely changed the focus of what you have to do with your armies. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to try out bringing Allied Space Wolves, because they're still pretty good. They're good at shooting, and they can still be really nasty in close combat, even in small numbers. But like I said, I got distracted and moved too quickly, because I did have field position, and also.
So you would have held back and just shot me to smithereens as I moved out.
It would have helped a lot more. I mean, that was kind of what you were doing too, but if I could have continued to, over time, pick off stuff, pick off another vehicle or whatever.
Well, the Thunderfire cannons were crazy.
Oh, well,
just like every turn.
You made a lot of saves. I mean, here's the thing, to be fair. Right?
Okay, go ahead.
I have won entire games just off my Thunderfire cannons. Like, it doesn't matter what else the rest of my army does. My Thunderfire cannons, oh, look at that, and just
you
blow
just
up.
keep
they just
putting
one
fire
or
on
two units a turn. They just blow them up.
Right.
They just do a ton of damage. Armor saves are failed, and those guys go away. Necrons, really resilient. You made a lot of immortal saves, which was really impressive. But in addition, all of your guys have this chance to get back up.
Right.
And you have really high morale. So I'm never going to make you run away.
Right.
Which is really nice if I can make somebody run away. Especially a lot of my experiences from 5th edition. In 5th edition, you'd make somebody run away, and if you were within 6 inches of them, they kept running. Or if they were close to the table edge, which is still true now, you could get them off the table edge or whatever, but it's really hard to get Necrons to go anywhere. They just sit there.
Right.
They sit there, and then a bunch of them get back up. So it's like, oh, well, I did a ton of wounds, I almost killed you. Like this unit over here. I killed that unit to one guy,
right.
And it's still
and
almost
3 of them
strength.
Came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, much for that.
That's hard. That's hard to deal with. And especially hard to deal with when you're at the end of the game. But anyway, nice game, Sean. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Took me down to, I had how many troop choices to be in the game with? Like 9 or something?
Right.
I have 1 left.
Right.
So.
Just by shooting at them. Well,
Just
and
shooting at 'em.
You'll notice these were really a thorn in my side, and it would have been easy to kill those land speeders, but I stayed focused.
Yes.
But I stayed focused on the troops choices, just the regular guys. Just keep pounding away at them. And now, if I could change, okay, so MVP, I'm going to say, is the Immortals. They did a ton of damage, even though they died at the end. In fact, when I redo this army, the Warriors, as you saw, the Ghost Arcs with Warriors are great. There's a ton of stuff you can do with that. The Ghost Arcs bring extra firepower. They're open-topped. It's like a mobile fire base for those Warriors, just to pour fire out of them.
The one thing you forgot to do, they
they bring back guys. I could have been bringing back 2-3 guys a turn. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot that. So the Necrons have a lot going on. They're weird science. They definitely fit with 40K. They're dystopian. They're tragic. There's just, these guys have already lost their whole, people have had their souls stripped out and they've been put into robotic body. A little bit like the Cybermen from Doctor Who. So anyway, love my Doom Scythe. That thing is a champ, an absolute champ. Looks cool, has a cool name, does a cool thing, huge amounts of firepower. The Death Ray is like, you should just fear that Strength 10 AP1, and it goes in a line. So you have tons of control. There's no missing with it. As long as you can get that point where you want it, and it's in you can count on 8-inch, line on it. You just can't miss. You're just going to get those hits, and it can be devastating and just breaks up. It's a confusing thing because your opponent really has to think about where his guys are so he doesn't just get death rayed straight through them. They're just fantastic. This game was 1750. If it were more, if I could add one more thing, it'd be another Doom Scythe. I would definitely drop another one. Love my Triarch Stalker. By the way, this army's 3,000 points. It is going to be on the block in about a week and a half, right after Valhalla, so 2 weeks from now. Oh, Valhalla's coming up. Still not too late. We still have a ticket left. And you get to spend 4 days of gaming and awesome food as it stands now, we got Mini Wargaming coming out, and we've got Worthy Painting. I have no reason to suspect they won't come at this late time. And Hawk War Games. So that's awesome. The creator of this game is actually bringing out the studio terrain to play with at Valhalla. So absolutely fantastic. Nick from Worthy Painting and I, we're good friends, and it's going to be great to see him. And we'd love you to pick up that last ticket. You can go to our web store and pick it up, or email us with questions. So Necrons. So I am going to, even though I love the Rust Necrons, I love this army, it's been great fun, I am going to do away with it and do a different color scheme, which is going to be blue and gold and pale blue. And we already know it looks good because we've done the prototypes for a client. A client won a 1,500 point army off of a Facebook contest that we did. So boy, you just can't beat that. And he is in for an absolute real treat. And what else?
We should talk about the Chaos Codex, which is coming out
Chaos
next
Let's make that
Saturday.
a separate thing.
Right. Well, I say mention it because we could do a Chaos versus Necrons bat rap.
We do. We need to do that. It's coming out next week.
Yeah, it's coming out Saturday.
Now's the time. First hardback codex.
First hardback codex.
Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday.
And well worth it too. And you know, everything to do with price just bounces off of me because it's like, this was always an expensive hobby. And they're doing a great job. The kits just keep getting better and better. Not nobody. A lot of people seem to not remember the days when there was no Eldar Viper. I had to make an Eldar Viper out of a deodorant bottle. And but now there's just this huge smorgasbord of fabulous figures, just amazing, huge support. The game is like really solid. So, there are no problems here. All right, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. By all means, come to BTP with your assembly and painting needs. We are on standby and have an absolutely fabulous crew, all decked out and ready to be of service to you.